So we're coming to you today from Canva Space, our newest venue here in our Sydney office, the home of interactive educational workshops, both online and face-to-face if you happen to be in Sydney as well. We're super excited to be launching this series of regular workshops out of Canva Space for you, our Canva community. And if you'd like to find out about what's coming up, we've got a lot coming up in May, just jump onto our Canva Space page, which is canva.com/Canva-space, and you can just click on see schedule there and you can check out what we've got coming up. So I'm going to put that address in the chat very shortly. I will be manning the chat and also the Q&A panel. So if you want to type any questions during the session, please feel free. I'll have a go at typing a response. If I don't know, I will surface them with Renee during the workshop. This session will be recorded and everyone who registered will receive a link to the recording. So I'm super thrilled to have Renee here with us today, our mobile product growth manager here at Canva, to take us through the Canva mobile experience. Over to you, Renee.
Oh, well, thanks, Jess. So thank you everybody for joining today. I'm really excited. So we're going to be going through some of the basics of designing with Canva on your mobile, and also giving you some tips and tricks to kind of help elevate your design. This is going to be really interactive. So make sure that you've got your phone or your tablet with you, and we're going to be doing some designing together. You can download the app if you want, or otherwise just go to canva.com on your phone. And like Jess said, anytime throw questions into the chat and I will do my best to answer them. So we've kind of gone through this. I work in mobile growth and marketing. I've been at Canva for almost 4 years now, and basically my focus is on all things mobile. So I work in marketing and I also work with the product managers just to create a better product for our community. You may notice from some of my slides today that I am not a designer, but I do actually create visual stories in Canva every day. So this is a way that I communicate at work and also with friends and family. So we had a celebration at work recently for Canva X. I whipped up that poster, which I was pretty proud of. That's my nephew's 6th birthday card there. And my dad's recently taken up stone carving. So I make Instagram stories for him around his progress. It only takes a couple of minutes, and it just kind of has a larger impact when you can communicate visually. So just to give you a quick overview of what is Canva. So Canva is a free tool available on mobile and desktop, and we basically make it easy to design anything, and you can do it all for free. We're a company with a really ambitious mission. So we want to empower the whole world to design, and we're doing pretty well so far. So we've got over 50 million monthly active users, and we've been doubling in size every year. We're available in every country and in over 100 languages, which is really exciting. But our founder, Melanie, says we're only 1% of the way there. So we've got a long way to go. One of our sort of other pillars across the company, so following on from that mission, is that we want to ensure that everyone in every country around the world has a delightful experience on every device. So that's whether they're on mobile or desktop, or they might be moving in between all of the platforms. We really want to make it easy for them to use and also just bring joy while they're designing. With the relaunch of the mobile products recently, which some of you may know about, we now have this sort of seamless experience across devices, and it also means that we can ship new features on all platforms at the same time, which I think is really exciting. So in this workshop, we are going to create a social post that you can use for your friends or your business and community, and that hopefully they're going to love. So I'll be showing you some videos and also switching over to my phone to be doing some live demos, which will hopefully go smoothly. Forgive me if it doesn't. And we'll have a few breaks here and there where we really want you to jump onto your phone and practice the skills as we go. And the idea here is that you're going to create something that you would actually post, and I'll be guiding you through that. So whilst we're along that journey, I'm going to show you a few of the differences between Canva's platforms and understand sort of what the difference between desktop and mobile is. We're going to do plenty of hands-on designing. I think this is something that I geek out about, but why is mobile so important? And the big takeaway there is that that's where your audience is. And hopefully you'll take home some tips for mobile, and we'll be sending you a quick guide with some in-depth tutorials covering Canva Pro, video, and things like that. So Cool. I think we're going to pause there, and Jess is going to throw a quick poll in.
Just unmute myself there. Here we go. Here's the poll, and poll in progress.
Ooh.
Question 1. Have you used Canva on your phone before? Some people, oh, here are the results coming in. 71% yes. It's jumping around a little bit, but around 65 to 70 people yes.
Okay, that's great. Oh, the second question's got so it keeps changing.
At the start of April 2021, how many unique mobile users around the world were there? 3.7 billion, 4.9 billion, 5.3 billion. All right, we've got just a few people. If you want to jump on and vote, it's about 5 people. Haven't had a go. If you want to quickly have a go, we'll have about 10 seconds more. Well, I only learned the correct answer to this morning. Renee told me. I didn't actually know. So I'm impressed. A lot of people actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this report actually only came out this week. So I was on LinkedIn yesterday and I saw it and I was like, oh, this would be perfect to share with everyone.
Super up-to-date facts. All right. Do you want to reveal the answers?
So, okay, it's really great to see that we've got 70% of people have used Canva on their phone before. So hopefully I'll be able to show you a few new things today. And for those that haven't, we're going to be going through all the basics, so don't worry about that. So for the second question, at the start of April 2021, how many unique mobile users around the world were there? So the answer is 5.3 billion, which I think is just incredible. So good job, everybody. We got the right answer there. Okay. All right, let's jump in. So we're going to have a look at the various platforms that you can access Canva on today. So this is just a very quick overview. So we've got desktop. So many of you have probably already gone to canva.com on your desktop. So that's the desktop web version. We also launched a desktop app version last year. So that's for Windows and Mac, and you can download. And that means it kind of sits in your toolbar. And it's if you're anything like me, I generally have like 75 tabs open in my browser. So it's really easy for me just to jump back into the desktop app and design for there. And then if we look at mobile and tablet, so again, you can also go to canva.com and access it through your browser, or you can go to the app stores like Google Play or the App Store and you can download the apps. So today I'm going to be demoing on the iPhone app, but the layout and the toolbars are essentially the same across all platforms. And so it should be pretty easy for you to follow along regardless of what platform you're actually on. I want to just kind of run you guys through the new Canva mobile experience. So we recently relaunched this and that's what I'm going to be walking you through today. Some of you may have been on the previous version and were moved over, and some of you may have always been on the new version, so this won't be news to you at all. But just to run you through what's changed. So we have a new look login and sign up screen, and in some markets where like email isn't necessarily like a big thing, we've enabled SMS or phone number sign up in those markets, and they're going to be coming to more markets soon. I think it's available in Mexico and potentially Indonesia. The home screen is new and it's now powered by recommendations. So I'm in Australia, I'm using an iPhone, I'm going to see those trending templates in my markets, and you'll really notice that. So we had Easter here a few weeks ago, and so on my home screen I saw a lot of Easter content. Then we jump into the editor. So there is a heap of stuff that's changed. It's a new layout. We've launched a whole lot of new features, and I'm going to be showing some of those today. Collaboration. You can now also collaborate on Canva mobile. So I can be editing a design on my phone while someone in my team is editing the same design on desktop. I can also like comment on designs to leave a comment for somebody else, and I can tag someone for them to have a look at it later. So I personally don't create presentations on my phone because I have access to a laptop, but I do get tagged in presentations, and so when I'm out and about, I can actually go in and check those comments and respond to those comments. And then we've also launched some text effects, which people were very excited about curved text when we launched that, and that launched on mobile at the same time as desktop last year, which is really exciting. So this is just an overview. If you're coming from the old, mobile app versus the new one, you can see that we've got a whole lot more features. So we've got background remover, music, and our video library. You can add GIFs and emojis to your design. And so to give you an idea, like when we used to launch a feature on one platform in the past, people would get very, very excited. And then the comments on social would start to come in to say like, why isn't this on iPhone? Or I have an Android, where is it on my computer? So where we're really focused is making sure that we have feature parity. So it's really easy for our community to switch between devices. To sum it all up, you can do it all on mobile. So if you're a member of the Canva Design Circle on Facebook, people share their designs that they've created, and I am constantly astounded by what people can do from their phones. And I'm hoping that in today's session, you feel inspired to go away and have some fun with Canva on your phone. So we're going to start designing soon. I thought that given that we're all going to be creating a social media post today, so a little inspiration might come in handy. And so when we say that our mission is to empower the world to design, one of my favorite parts of working at Canva is definitely our global audience. So we're going to take a little trip around the world in design, and I thought I'd show you the top templates for a few key markets over the past week or so, and that might help you get a feel for what's most popular in each market and also the types of designs people are creating. So we're going to start in Brazil. So you can see there that the top two are social media, but we also have logos and posters and invitations. And just looking at the aesthetic, something that really stood out to me in terms of the templates is really the focus on people. There's a lot of people used in these designs. Now we move to Australia. So again, it's also dominated by social media with logos and posters in the mix as well. But you can see we're a little bit more text heavy, and this kind of like bold text with like some script in there, also really popular. Now we head off to Germany. So we have a really massive library of localized templates. You can see there a lot of the top ones are in German, which is no surprises there. And also it must be feeling like spring, or people are hoping that it's going to start to feel like spring soon. We've got a lot which are revolving around spring here. Over to Indonesia. So Ramadan started on April 12th. And so you can see that sort of for the past week, the top templates that people are creating and publishing are really dominated by Ramadan. And I think something that stands out for me here is like the night sky and the greens and the blues. They've got a very similar aesthetic. And then finally, we go over to the US. And I think for this one, I was kind of surprised at how floral everything was. But potentially, again, people are also really excited about spring. And there's no human faces in the top templates, which I found pretty interesting. And this seems really different to what we saw in Brazil. And again, in terms of doc types, social media is leading the way. And we've got logos and posters in there as well. So pop in the chat if there was any key takeaways for you there, some stuff that I didn't spot. And if there's anything interesting, yell it out to me, Jess. One thing that I really that I wanted to share is that you would have seen Ramadan in there and some Easter templates in those markets. Seasonal events are just massive on mobile, and it's much more than what we see on desktop when we have a look at sort of, you know, the volumes of designs created at Canva. People are away from their desks, and sadly or not, they're really never away from their phones. And plus they're using design to communicate, and that can be through social media or one-to-one. So when we think about this at Canva from a marketing point of view, seasonal campaigns are a really great way to engage your audience. When we're thinking about sort of creating marketing or templates for events, we also think about both business and personal use cases. So people started campaigns for like e-commerce or restaurants and things like that for Mother's Day, which is coming up in Australia and I think in a few other parts of the world in a couple of weeks. They would have started that content a few weeks ago. And then when we kind of switch gears, we think about the personal use case that doesn't really kick in until the day before. So when people are essentially kind of like reaching out to loved ones. So we really think about that when we're creating content for seasonal campaigns. And yeah, and again, they're huge on mobile. Jess, is there anything you wanted to call out there?
No, people just commenting about how they loved seeing how the most used templates vary by country.
Oh, cool. All right,
Yeah.
good to hear. Okay, so our goal for today is to create a social media post that moves. So we are going to start to jump in now. What we're going to cover kind of along that way, so end goal, creating a social media post, we're going to, and just to make sure that you guys are going to have a chance to practice this along the way, and that's going to help you take it all in. We'll go through how to find the right template. We're going to upload an image from your phone. We're going to change text and fonts and colors. We'll add more pages to your design as well, because you see a lot of Instagram stories. It's not just one page. We'll add some fun things like stickers and music. I'm going to show you some tips on how to tidy up your design with that smaller screen. It can be a little bit harder. And then we'll go through a few options to make your design stand out, and we'll add some movement. And then we're going to publish and collaborate and share it with the world. One thing that I think has had such a big impact on small business and even our personal communication is the fact that we always have these like pretty powerful cameras in our pockets at all times. So content creation obviously just got a whole lot easier. We made a tutorial series, which I'll show you guys a little bit later, about growing your business with Canva Mobile, because we'd heard from a lot of our community that they are relying on their mobile phone to run an entire business. And so Ronnie, who's our community lead and also one of our Canva certified creatives, they were able to use their phones just near a really bright window and I think some cushions, and they took a photo of a shoe. Then they put it in, used the background remover, and then they created this great design for an e-commerce store. So I think that there's this idea of democratizing design and being able to do everything for your phone is very exciting to me. One of the things that you can do as well, once you've taken great photos on your phone, a lot of people, as I said, are trying to grow their business, and Canva is a Facebook marketing partner. So if you go into the app or even on desktop and you search for Instagram story ads or Facebook feed ads on Canva, the templates that you actually see there are designed with Facebook's recommendations in mind for high performing ads. So if you're a marketer or a small business owner, you might want to do that today throughout the exercise. Okay, we are ready to start designing. So first, we're going to be exploring the home screen and then starting to edit your design. So we're going to be doing this in sort of bite-sized chunks. There are a few different ways that you can find a template from the home screen, and I will play a very quick video just to run you through that. Okay. There we go.
From the home screen, you can do three things. You can search using the search bar, you can scrolling down to find your favorite templates, or you can use the plus button to discover more doc types or create a custom sized document.
Don't worry if any of that kind of went too quickly. I'm going to be doing a live demo as well, so we can walk through that together. Okay, so in the live demo, what I'm going to do is I'm going to search for a doc type. I'm going to select a template. I'm going to select an element to edit. I'm going to upload a photo from my phone, and I'm going to replace an image. I wanted to start off with like a few key navigation tips that are going to serve you well as we go through this whole process. So I'm going to start with the toolbar or the navigation bar. So one thing to remember is that this is contextual. So it's going to change depending on what element you have selected on the design. And you'll know which element you have selected. So you'll tap on it and it's going to have that turquoise border around it. And that means that's the one that you're about to edit. So on the left there, I've selected the background and the toolbar gives me options like changing the color or replace there would replace the background. In the middle, I've selected the text box. So you can see that turquoise box around that text there. And so that nav bar down the bottom changes. So I've got things like changing font. I can edit the text there. I can change the size. I can change the color. And then on the right, I've selected the photo in the middle. So you can see the turquoise around there. And then that's where I see options like replace or delete or effects as well. So that's where I can choose effects and remove the background or apply a filter. So always keep an eye on that toolbar, because that's going to be really helpful. A couple of other things, mobile phones can be very small. So if you want to get a closer look at your design, you kind of just like pinch and zoom. We also want to group elements sometimes, and that means that we can resize them or move them together. So I often do this with text boxes, or if I've got text with a shape behind it. So to do that, I'm going to play this video. You're going to long press. So I'm holding my finger down on that, and then you see that dialogue, and then I'm going to tap the other one, and then going to the nav bar down the bottom, I click group. And then that means I can actually kind of change everything, move everything together at the same time. Also, something to note is that sometimes when you choose a template in Canva, some of the elements are already grouped together. So that could be text, or that could be images. They're already grouped, and I might only want to edit one. I might want to move one. I might want to change the font of one. And then that's where what's going to happen is if they're already grouped, when you tap on it, it'll show up in the bottom there, and it'll say ungroup. I'm gonna ungroup that one. And then that means I can start to play with the elements individually as well. This is a fun one. So you're going to use handles to resize and also rotate things. So if I want to increase, is this playing? There we go. If I want to increase the size of a particular thing, I'm using those handles in the corner, those dots in the corner, and I'm just pulling them in and pushing them out. And then you can see underneath we've got that little rotation icon. Again, I'm just sort of using my finger and I'm moving that around. Okay, so I've just recorded this demo, but we are going to do it live together. So I just wanted to show you first up. So I will search for a doc type here. So that's where I'm going to use that search bar, but you can use any of these. So if you click on one of these ones here, these are sort of like the most common doc types. If you click on that, it's going to take you through to individual templates where you can start to see all of the most popular templates there. If you use these rows here, where it's got Instagram posts and logos and various things, it is going to, oh, sorry, I realized that you're not seeing what I'm seeing. Here we go. Let me just start that again, and I can walk you through what the video is showing you.
Yeah, we can see the demo.
Yeah, but I didn't realize that it started. So, okay, in the demo, I am going to search for a video story. Then I'm going to choose a template that I like. You can tell that it's a video story because it has the little play icon in the top left there. Then I'm going to select a template. And I want to change that image there. So I tap on that. I'm going to upload something from my phone. There's a whole lot of my plant collection at home. I hope everybody's enjoying that one. And then that just drops into my design. So, all right, so we are going to, if everybody can get their phones out now, and again, you can be using mobile web, or you can be using the Canva app on iPhone or Android. So first up, you're going to open up a home screen, open up the home screen. I'm going to be going through it live on here, so you'll be able to see my phone. If you're feeling confident, just go ahead without me. And then we're just going to get up to the point where you swap a photo over like I did in the video. And then next up, what we're going to do is we'll start to change text colors and add pages, and I'll show you how to do that at that point. So if I start a timer for 5 minutes, I'm just going to move. Oh, I can't see the timer anymore, Jess. Are you able to?
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on that.
Thank you. Okay, cool. So I am on the home screen here, and you can follow my finger by following this little thing. If I forget to do it, Jess is going to tell me. So I'm going to start by searching. So I would like to make an Instagram story. So I'm going to do that. And this is where I can see all of the different types of templates. I am going to choose this one. Okay. So now I have my template. I want to change the photo. So if I tap on that, you can see that I've got this turquoise border around it. And then you can also see down here that my toolbar has all of these different things which are related to the image. Just as an example, if I tap on text, you can see that those options in the toolbar change, and I'm just seeing all of those options by swiping. So I am going to go back here. I'm going to tap on that, and then I'm going to come down and I want to replace that. So now I have some options. I can go through, I can choose photos from our video library. I can choose videos, or I can upload from my, oh, hang on, let me bring that back. So I was navigating up here, or I can upload from my phone. So here I can choose from my existing photo library in my phone. I can take a photo or video live here. So I am going to choose my photo library, and I grabbed somebody up on the rooftop this morning and he was kind enough to let me take a photo of him. So here we go. There we go. So now that's uploading. I'm going to tap on that, and there he is in my design. All right, so I am going to stop chatting there for a minute and let everybody keep going on their designs.
Cool. We do have a question from Jimmy.
Yes.
Is it possible to create a slider with multiple pictures?
A slide, as in, would it be something? Yeah, well, in short, yes. So what we're going to show you later is you'll be able to have multiple pages in your design. And then what you can actually do is you can animate between pages. And so you could say, I want this page to be on screen for 3 seconds, this page to be on screen for 5 seconds. So we see a lot of people using that in Instagram stories. Hopefully that answers the question.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Cool. All right, we've got 2 minutes left on our timer. Another question here. Can we do animated Instagram highlight cover?
Yes. So there is I don't know if Instagram supports it. If they do, then yes, but there's actually a doc type within Canva, which is, oh, here we go. Instagram highlight, Instagram story highlight cover. So these are a great way to create really seamless highlight covers for your Instagram page. As for animations, yes, you can do it in Canva, but I actually don't know if you can do that on Instagram story, or sorry, on Instagram, but yeah.
Fantastic. All right, and that's our timer up.
Okay, so, okay, so, oh, I'm going to close that. Cool. So hopefully everybody had a little bit of fun there. Post any sort of questions or anything if you discovered something new that you hadn't seen before. Pop them in the chat and we can go through them after. Before we move on to the next design phase, I wanted to share this with you guys because it's really stuck with me. So you will hear me repeat this a lot around the office. So this is from a really interesting resource. So it was like a combination of Google and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and another sort of design consultancy. And that's where you can see digitalconfidence.design. And what this is there to do is to help developers and designers or anyone really understand the challenges and also the opportunities for building for what we call like the next wave of internet users. So the big thing here is more than 1 million people will come online for the first time in their lives today, which I think is just incredible. So many of these people are from emerging markets and they're going to be on their phone. They don't have access to desktop or they choose to be on mobile. They have really different levels of literacy as well as like digital literacy. So they may not they won't have ever used the internet before. And there's also different connectivity, which we always need to think about. So one resource on this site was talking about iconography and that the shopping cart icon, which, you know, a lot of us are really familiar with in terms of e-commerce, may not actually mean something to someone that isn't actually familiar with a shopping cart. And I think that I just find that really, really intriguing. And it makes me really excited to build content for users all around the world. Hopefully you enjoyed that too. Cool. So if you did add a photo or, you know, take a photo and you wanted to take it a little bit further, I'm going to show you here background remover. So in one tap, you can see that there's a photo of me. I have chosen to remove my background, and now I'm going through these new filters which we've released called photogenic. Yeah, I can now add filters to my face. So to access these, what you're going to do is you're going to tap on the photo, so you'll see that turquoise box around it, and then in the toolbar you'll see that there's something called effects. And then so tap on that, and then these options will come up. Background remover is a pro feature, so it is a part of our subscription. And then photogenic, there's a lot of free filters in there. Plus we have a few more photo editing tools coming very soon, hopefully. All right, so now we're going to move on to the next part. So we're going to be editing text, playing around with color, and also adding pages to your design. So to that person who asked the question before, we'll show you how to do that now. There's a bunch of different things that you can do with text on your design. So you can obviously change the text size, you can change your font, you can change the color. I'm going to show you some cool text effects. If you've got fonts or colors which are aligned with your brand, you can actually add them to your brand kit in the app, and that is available. I think there's a couple of options which are available for free users as well. And that just means that every time you're creating, you can take an existing template and then just tap use brand fonts, use brand colors, and then you ensure that you're on brand at all times. So here are text effects, which people get very excited about. So you can see here, I've got the text selected. I went to effects, and then we've got all of these different options down here. So we've got like glitch and neon. I've chosen glitch here. And then if I go to the shape, I can choose curved text. So people absolutely love curved text. I find it a little bit of fun as well. And then we have, when it comes to adding more pages in your design, and this is what we're going to go through next, so Instagram stories or even a carousel feed, we want to have more than one page. So while we're in the editor, it's pretty simple. We're just going to pull across and you'll see another page pop up, and I'm going to show you how to choose another template. So what I'm going to go through now, we're going to edit some text and some font size. We're going to change our font. We're going to change some colors, and we'll also add a new page. This is a demo that I recorded earlier, but again, we're going to go through this live. So here I'm typing in some different text. Hopefully you like my branding. Now I would love to change my font here. So I'm going to tap on that. I'm going to go across in the bar and choose font. Where you see those little crowns, that means that they're pro fonts. And so here I am just switching through them. I end up choosing this one because I think that it fits with my brand. And now I want to change the color of my design. So I've tapped on the background there. Canva selects colors from your actual photos here. So it just means that you're going to be really aligned. I'm going to choose that one. And I think that is up. And then that's me just literally pulling across, and I'm adding a new screen. And because this particular design has more than one page in the design, it means that I can choose another template, and it just means that my story or my carousel or my design is really going to flow together. So I am now, we're going to go back to your phones. So just continue on the design that you started. So you're going to first change some text, just write whatever you want. You can change like the font or the size, have a bit of a play with color. I'm going to show you when I'm doing the live demo. I'm also going to show you how to use the color picker, which can be really useful. And then we're going to add another page to your design. So if you can just get up to that point, then what we're going to do next is we're going to add some stickers and we're going to do some tidying up. But for now, let's go back here. So if I go back to my designs, this is the one that I had earlier. So I'm going to come down here. I'm going to tap on that text box. I can either double tap. Oh, sorry. I can either double tap there or I can choose edit. So I'm going to say good morning. Done. So I'm happy with that. I do want to play with the font. Maybe that's not super clear. So the ones that I have recently used are all going to show up here. No, I don't like that. I'm just going to keep going. And if I choose this font, I'm probably not going to go with it in the end, but see how it is quite large. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over to done. Oh, done. And I need to change that font size, obviously. So I can either do that by pulling on these handles, which we went through earlier, or I'm going to come down to the nav bar here and I'm going to click on font size and I'm going to slide that across and then I can make that smaller. So I'm going to hit done. I don't love that font though. I'm just going to go back to, let's try this one. I like that. I'm happy with that. I don't love the color. So I am going to change the color of that font and I'm still working on the text here. So you can see that turquoise box around there. I'm going to choose color. So I can choose things like this, which are already in the design. These ones down here are the ones which are picked up from the photo. So I can try some of those. And then we've got these options in here as well. If I'm not sure about this, so if I wanted to try something like purple, I can, oh, if I can spell, I can type in purple and I'm going to get these various options here around all different types of purples, which I can choose. If I'm still not happy with that, I can go to this, choose my colors. I can do things down here where I can change these, change like this, or I have the color picker. So the color picker is where I can really start to pick up other colors from my existing design. So I can choose that. Done. That looks like, there we go. Just do that. And we're going to hit done. Now I want to add another screen, another page to my design. So I'm just going to hold my finger down, oops, and slide across, and it's just going to pop there. Because I want this to stay in line with my existing design, I'm going to tap on this plus button and I'm going to tap on templates. And what this is going to do is this is going to show me other sort of screens which are part of this template, and it just means that I'm going to stay consistent in my design. I like this one, so I'm going to do that. So now I have 2 pages on my design. Cool. So I'm going to stop there and let you guys have a bit of a play, and then when the time's up, we can move on to the next step.
Fantastic. I've got a couple of questions to ask you.
Yes.
Do you know how to enlarge the icons at the bottom so they can see their names, but not as many options as you? Is there a way to do that, or is that maybe dependent on your device?
They can see their names, but not as
see the names of the icons, but not as many icons as you've got.
Okay. What are they? What have they tapped on? Can they describe that? Is it the image?
Yeah. Okay, maybe you could provide us a little bit of context, and we'll get back to you on that question.
Yeah.
And next question, is there a template that would utilize a photo that has audio with it?
Yes. So we're actually going to later go through. So if I can just show you guys we can replace this with videos. So if you want, you could do a video. If you just want to do photos with audio, what we're actually going to go through later is adding audio to our design. So I will show that where we have, you can add any of these tracks to your design as well. Hopefully that answers the question.
Fantastic. And could you just show how to get back to the main menu? Someone was just saying, I'm having trouble getting back to the menu. What's the quickest way to do that?
Is that as in the home screen?
I think the home screen, yeah.
Home screen, yeah. So you've just got this little home button up here. What that's going to do is that will take you back to all your designs. So that's where you can see. And then in the bottom down here, you can see that we've got home. So just to kind of recap where we've got to so far, we have selected a template. So we've been able to search, or we've been able to select one from the home screen. You can upload and replace an image. So we've gone through that. We've also gone through a background remover. We've changed text and we've changed fonts. We've changed some colors, and we've added a new page with the same template to our design. So next up, we're going to start on adding some more fun stuff. And this is really around sort of what we've done so far is really editing. So we've been tapping on elements that we want to edit or we want to change. And now what we're going to be doing is adding to our design. So adding some extra things to our design. So we covered this originally, but we want to stand out from the crowd. So there's obviously a whole lot on social media, and people's attention spans are pretty short. So a lot of successful brands and even and people, they'll have music, they'll have movement. So that could be stickers, that could be video, and that really helps them stand out in a feed and grab people's attention. So it can be a pretty simple design with a simple sticker on it, and yeah, that'll really help you stand out. So back to the navigation tips, where we were talking about before, sort of editing. Now when we're thinking about adding, we want to use this purple plus button. So you'll see this in the editor. And what that's going to do is it's going to open up a menu for you to add more things to your design. This plus button also appears on the home screen, and it also appears in the content planner. And the biggest thing that I want you to take away here is that the most relevant actions to that particular screen sit behind that plus button. So it's not the same thing across every screen. It is contextual. So if you tap on that on the home screen, so we saw in the video from Ronnie before, you're going to see a list of doc types. That's also where you can create custom dimensions. In the editor, which is where we're at the moment, you're going to tap on that and it's going to open up a menu to add things like GIFs or stickers or music or more text to your design. And then if you're in the content planner, which we will chat about a bit later, that allows you to create or design a schedule. So for this one, we're going to add a sticker or a GIF. So people love like movement and GIFs and things like stories, but even in presentations as well. So you can see here, we're going to tap. Oh, I might just start that again. All right, so I'm in the editor. I'm going to tap on this plus button, and here I'm going to choose elements, and don't worry, we're going to go through this together. So that's where I can choose, that could have been, you know, a heart, could have been a sticker. Some of them I can actually change the colors so it matches my design. I do a pretty terrible job of actually matching it to the design here, so apologies. And then I can also add a GIF. So we've got a Giphy library in there. And then so for this, I can just throw that in, I can resize it, and I can move it around. So if I want to add stickers or graphics, so these are, we've got, you know, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of illustrations. I'm going to tap on that, then I'm going to choose stickers or graphics, and you'll see these under elements. If I want to add a GIF, there are sort of apps or these additional things which are under more, and then that's where you'll see Giphy. You also saw other things like Google Maps, and I can add Instagram photos and stuff like that there. Once I add that in, it's always going to show up in that menu, so it does make it a little bit easier for you to get back to. there's just, as I was saying, there's like a heap of content in there. So one great way is to use filters for graphic search. So you can see here that we've got these filters up the top. If you know what you're looking for, just you type in things like hearts or wow or circle frame or something like that. You can be quite specific and you'll see the results. And then you can also see there are various things using these filters here. So arrows and lines and circles and various logos and things like that. Adding audio. So we do have a huge library of audio available as well. So again, you're going to go through this plus button and you're going to just tap on that add audio. And then that's where you can type in things like happy or there's advertising in there and things like that. You can preview from that menu. So that's what I was just doing there. And then once you actually choose your song that you want, you can then start to edit it. So there's a few different things here that you can do. So volume, if you're doing a presentation and you've got audio in, you may not want to have it at 100%, which I probably could have learnt from that. So you can actually turn the volume down so it doesn't play as loud. And then you've got things like adjust. So if my design is running for 20 seconds and the song has 3 minutes in it, once I actually choose adjust, I can go in and with my finger, I can just listen to which portion of the song I actually want to play. There are questions around licensing notes which come up. So I did chat to our product manager for music just to get the lowdown here. So just a few notes. So you can use music for $3 for one video. I am assuming that's in Australian dollars. I don't know, but and then if you want to post on YouTube, so you do need to connect your Canva account with your Google account, and that's all through the app. And then that means we can whitelist your account for that music track, and there is more information available for that and on the Canva help website. Okay, so now it's time for us to add some things to our design. So for this one, I really want you just to kind of play and explore what's behind that plus button. So you're going to be in the editor, tap on that, and you're just going to see all of the different things that are there. Then I'm thinking for the purpose of this design, I want you to add a sticker or just an illustration to your design, and then leave that as is. And then what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be making your design move, and we're going to tidy up before we start to share. So I will go back into my phone now. All right, so I'm going to, here's the design. Okay, so I'm going to tap on the plus button. So this opens up the menu that I was talking about before. So you can remember that's how I access the different templates. There's various uploads in my account. I can choose photos here from our stock library. Elements is where we're going to land, but we've got text. So if I wanted to add another text box to my design, so something like that, I can go from there. I don't like that, so I'm going to go down into my the navbar here, and I'm going to hit delete. There are also options just to sort of let everyone know for navigation. If you don't like what you've done, you can tap that back button, and then that's just going to take away the last thing that you did. Then we have, so I can add things like audio, which I just showed you, videos. I can add things from my camera roll. I can add a background. Folders are a really great way to keep your content organized. And then there's the more. So this is where there are various sort of apps and integrations which I can add here. So I can add, I showed you guys earlier, I showed you Giphy. So we've got that there. I can search for things like wow. I'm going to see a whole lot of GIFs there. If I tap on one of these, it's just going to pop into my design. But for the purpose of this, I'm trying to make it actually look nice. Oops. So we are going to go to elements. And here we have all of the different types of elements and illustrations that we want to use. I quite like this sticker. So I'm going to add that one. If I want to add something else, elements, I can see all of these stickers here. We've got all of these. Let's add a little bit of that. And then I'm just using my fingers. So I'm going to use these handles to make it bigger or smaller. And then if I want to move it, I'm going to move that up there. All right, I'll stop talking and we can take some more questions if you like.
There we go. Yes, we do have a fair few questions.
Okay.
Serena has asked, if I started to use a template but went a bit crazy and I want to go back to the original template, how do I do that on mobile?
The exact original?
Yes. So I guess it's more than just one undo.
Yeah, so you can, I think personally, the easiest way would be just to go back to the home screen and start from there. So you could find, so for this template, for example, I would go back to home, and then I would do Instagram story, and then I can find that one there. You can continually press back. If I choose a design, which I oh, you can't continually press back there. Sorry. Yeah, you're going to have to go to the home screen. I'll find out about that, but yeah, you'll have to go back to the home screen and find the template again.
Oh, fantastic. And I just wanted to give a shout out to Christine, who is clearly an experienced user, and she's jumping in there and answering a few questions in the chat.
Nice.
Like, yeah, like Bryce's question about using your own audio like you do in the photos in the template instead of music. And Christine has commented that she creates marketing for music artists and upload MP3s of their music all the time. So
Nice.
that was great. Thanks for jumping in there and helping each other out as well. Could you show how to find Giphy again?
Yes. Okay, so we're coming down to the plus button. And so we should see this, then we've got more. And then this is where I've got my apps and integrations. So I can go into Giphy. And now I'm in the Giphy library. So I can search for things. Does that help?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Oh.
Jimmy has asked, in the case of a video with animated text, when sharing the video, will the text be animated separately with the video, or will it be animated once you click on the play button?
Oh, say that again.
So in the case of a video with animated text, when you share the video,
yeah,
will the text be animated separately with the video, or will it be animated once you click on a play button? So I guess he's saying, like, once you open it, will it just animate, or would you have to click a play button?
No, you shouldn't have to. I think if you share a watch link or if you download it, then it should just play. I think that's the case.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you. And Kenya asks, how do I add photo effects?
Photo effects. Okay, so we're going to tap on this photo here. So you can see that we've got the turquoise bar around there. And because I've tapped on that, we've got effects. So that's where if I want to, I can't do it in this account because I'm using my personal account, so I don't have background remover. But if I did, then I can tap on background remover there. And then these filters are just available down here. So we've got all of these different filters. If I want to get a little bit more creative, if you can see that we've got these this icon that shows up over the filter that we're using. If I tap on that, then that's going to bring up more options. That'll bring up more options where I can actually start to play with intensity and various other things there. But yeah, we've got a video tutorial specifically around background remover as well, so we'll share that in the pack afterwards.
Fantastic. And one last question. I would like to know how to select mobile items to group or ungroup.
Okay.
On the PC it's easy, but doesn't know how to do it on mobile. Yep.
So if I want to, let's do this text. So what I'm doing here, let me just start again. It's very hard to show you. I'm holding down on the element. So you can see there that now I get this one element selected. So that's cool. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap on the second one that I want to select. And then I'm going to come down to the bar here and I'm going to hit group. And now they're grouped together. It means that they move together. And then similarly, I can resize them together. If I'm happy with that and I want them to be ungrouped now, you can just see in the same spot, I've now got an ungroup. So I can do a long press again, and I'm going to hit that. And I'm going to hit group. And now I'm moving all of that together. And if I don't want them anymore, then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to hit ungroup.
Perfect.
That's it.
Thank you.
Okay, so, all right. This one here, I wanted to make it very clear that we're about to start tidying up, and it's very painful for me to look at, and hopefully it's also painful for you to look at. But I really want you to get the point that tidying up is really important in kind of just getting like a really great looking design. So I am going to show you a few different ways to do that. So on mobile, it's obviously like it's a small screen, so it's quite hard sometimes to be dragging things with your finger. So that's when nudge really comes into play. So if I let me just start that again, and I'm going to just walk you through it. So I've tapped on this element, this hello text, and then in this toolbar down here, I'm going to go to nudge. If I want to move it smoothly, I'm holding my finger down on the direction that I want it to go. If I just want to move it one pixel at a time, I'm just sort of tapping away on that. And then if I want to make these sort of bolder movements, that's where I just hold down the element and I'm just moving it with my finger. Then we've got alignment and positioning. So you can do things here. So I've tapped on that hello text again, and I'm going to choose position. So I can align it to the page. So I can choose center, I can choose middle, and that's going to align it to the page. I can also, this is moving it back and forward. So, and when I talk about that, I'm talking about the layers. So I can have my text sitting above my graphic. I can have a graphic sitting behind a photo. And that's where we're using positioning. You can also align things to other elements. So it's quite nice, obviously, like on this presentation slide, for example, that I always make sure that I've got this kind of this left alignment. And the way that I've done that is I've made sure I've sort of long pressed on each of these text elements, and then I've gone to position and I've aligned those to the left, for example. Okay. So now we're going to make your design really move. So we're going to be talking a little bit more about animations here. I think one thing that I wanted to call out, while we've been speaking quite a lot about social media as well, we want to stand out everywhere. And that includes, like, for brands, if you're sending out emails or marketing emails, you can easily create these animated banners in Canva as well, which just helps sort of like improve your click-through rates, hopefully. And then you've got things like presentations. I've used animation throughout this entire presentation. So things like that can really help you stand out to your audience. When we talk about making your design move, I think that there's a lot we've covered, kind of like animations, we've talked about video, but there are a few different ways that you can actually make your design move and really bring it to life. So I'm going to play this video now to quickly show you some of those, and then we're going to demo.
So to recap, number 1, you upload your own video. Number 2, you use a video from the Canva library. Number 3, you use animated stickers. And number 4, you use animations.
Cool. So All right, so what we talked about there, animated stickers. So we've done that. We've also done that where we've added GIFs. I'm going to show you how to animate your design. So sort of animate between those screens, which is really cool for Instagram stories and various other things. We do have a huge stock video library. So if you go into in the add button, or even when you're replacing, you can search things like travel or food or anything you want, people laughing. You can type any of these things in and you're going to see stock video related to that. So you can just throw that into your designs. And of course, when we're talking about mobile, we've often got a huge library of things, of videos already on our phones. And so similarly to the way that we did it for photos, you're just going to upload one from your phone, or you can just take one from within the app and then that'll add to your design. We also have a whole lot of animated or video templates. So if you search for like animated social post or something like that, you're going to see that sort of that little play icon show in the corner of the template when you're looking at the search results. And I'll point that out when we go back into the app. And that's just going to show you that there is some sort of movement on that design. Cool. So now I'm going to jump back into the app. I'm going to do some tidying and I'm going to add some movement to my design. Then what we're going to do, we're going to be pretty much done with our design, and then we're going to look at different ways that you can actually share it with the world. Oops, sorry, coming down here. All right, so we go back in here. I'm just going to put it here. I've got my text over here. I'm going to, again, I want to align it to the page. So I'm going to long press on that and this guy, and I'm going to group them. And that means that wherever I go, they're going to be aligned. So what I am going to do is I'm going to hit position here. And I want these to be in the center of the page. And then that means that these are dead center in the page. What else can I do here? If I want to ungroup those and I want to have those two centered, I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to position. And you can see now that it says align elements. So over here it says align elements. Now I'm going to align those to each other. So if I hit center, now that means that those two are aligned together. So I'm happy with that. What else can we do here? So with this one, I want this graphic to be shown behind. So rather than being over his face, I want to move that to behind. So you can see that it is selected. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to go down to my nav bar and hit position. And so now we can see that I want to move this backwards. So I can see now it's behind the frame there. I can keep going backwards until I can't go backwards any longer. And then if we want to, we can try something like this. We can move that up there. We can do that. And now I'm happy with that. I've got my two screens, so I'm not gonna change this one, but I want to animate between them. So I'm going to tap on the background there. And then we're going to, you can see here that I've already got that this sort of runs for 6 seconds, but I'm going to hit animate down here. And what I can see here is that these are my page animations. So currently I've got none. You can see that that's selected. I want to try out block, and I'm going to see a preview here. Then I can see what breathe looks like. We've got fade. We've got pan. Tumble is quite fun. We do also have, again, where you see these crowns, this also means that they are pro animations, and so but all of these ones are free. If I'm happy with photo zoom here, I'm going to stick with that one. I want to always ensure that I've got consistency across all of my pages in my design. So I'm just going to hit apply to all pages, and then I'm going to hit done. And then that means that all of my all of my pages will be designed and will be animated in the same way. If I want to just quickly check that out, you can use up here where my finger is, you've got this play button, and this is like a preview. So I can see here how my design is actually going to look. And what I'll do quickly now is show you, cool, so I'm happy with that. Something that I can show you as well is that we can set the time that each of your screens or your pages in your design actually shows for. This can be quite helpful in presentations as well as, you know, Instagram stories. So I'm down here and I can see here that now that used to say animations. Now what it does is it tells me the kind of animation that I've got on. And then we've got this timer over here, which says 6 seconds. So I can use my finger to change that. If I want it to be 12.5 seconds, I can use that. And again, I want to be consistent, so I can apply to all of my pages. So I'm going to hit that. Let's change to that. Done. And then this, if I go back up here, I'm going to check it out again. And you can see now that the my preview has gone to 20 seconds. And it should hopefully, after 10 seconds, it is going to switch over. That's it. Okay, so I'm going to close that. Do we have any questions, or should I keep moving? How are we doing for time?
We've got about 20 minutes left. So we're
okay.
Yeah. No other questions surfacing at the moment. We've come back to the question about the icons at the bottom of the page.
Yeah.
She did get back with more information saying that instead of the icons, she just sees the words. Like I see the word delete, but not the trash bin icon.
Oh.
She's using the Canva app on an iPhone. So is there any way of modifying that? Or maybe it's an older version of the app?
Yeah, it could be. It could be if it's an older like iPhone essentially. There's a couple of different things that could be happening here. One, it could be a smaller device, and then therefore we're not it's not the exact same experience as I'm seeing. There is also the fact that we run a lot of experiments in our product, so when we make changes, we don't roll them out to every single person at once. We want to see how the community reacts. So it could be also that you're in a different experiment to me. If you like, if you can get in touch with your email address, and then maybe we can follow up and ask some more questions there, and I'm happy to help there. All right, so hopefully we've all got to something that we're pretty happy with and ready to share with the world. So there are a few different ways that you can do this. So something which is quite unique to mobile is that you can just share directly to social. So whether that's Instagram or WhatsApp or Facebook or Twitter or Pinterest. So you can just share through this. You're going to tap on this icon, which I'll do in the live demo. And then you've got all of these different options here. Or you can just download it to your device and then share it directly through those apps. Another way that I think that we use quite a lot here is sharing things as a link. So if you choose to share this, it means that you're not having to download this to your device, which can be quite handy if it's quite a large file, you're not on Wi-Fi, you don't have a lot of storage on your mobile. So you can just copy this link, and then anyone that you share it with, they can actually view it, and it's just they don't have to sign into Canva. They're just going to be viewing it on a web page here. Or there's this idea of collaboration, which I was talking about earlier. So if Jess and I want to work on a design together, then what I can do is I can tag her in the design. She's going to get a notification, so via email or via push notification, tap on it, and you can go back into the app and you can really be jamming on it together. If I'm sort of ready with the design, so I can do that. I can share a link to view, which is what we were showing earlier. Or I can also share a link there just by copying that link, and I can share it with someone who can then go in and edit. They can add comments. And then there's also simultaneous collaboration. So that means that if Jess and I are both working on the same design at the same time, I can see what changes she's making, she can see what changes I'm making. And we use this really often at Canva for things like brainstorms. So particularly when we were all working from home last year, we still wanted to have that sort of whiteboard feel. So we have a lot of designs in Canva where it's got sort of, you know, these virtual sticky notes on there, and we can all be sort of jamming on the same slide at the same time. We also do it for things like birthday cards and congratulations cards around the office. Cool. And this was a feature. So you have been able to schedule to social media for a while through the app. But a feature that we launched last week is that you can now schedule a post to Instagram. So if you have an Instagram business account and a pro user, it means that you've kind of got this end-to-end flow now. So if you're a social media, marketer or a small business owner, you can actually sit down, excuse me, in Canva, create a month's worth of content or a week's worth of content, and then go through this process of scheduling it. You can write your captions in there and then schedule it at a week or a month in advance. And then at any time you can go into the app and you can actually see your content planner there, and just see what you've got coming up for the next period of time. And then that'll magically get scheduled and goes out to your social media accounts. Okay. So to recap, we have gone through the process of selecting a template, changing our images, removing our backgrounds. We've changed text, we've changed fonts, we've changed colors. We've added pages to our design. We've added some pizzazz like through stickers and music. We've tidied up, hopefully. We've made our design move through animating the screens, and we know how to share it with the world. So if you're ready, we have a Made in Canva hashtag on Instagram. If you're feeling up to it, share your design in there. We would absolutely love to see that. And so I wanted just to kind of leave you guys with a few different pointers. First one up is mobile, and particularly when we're talking about Canva. It is a smaller screen, definitely, and it has a sort of a slightly different layout because we do have that smaller screen, but all of the same features are there, and you can absolutely design anything you like on mobile. There is plenty of goodness behind that plus button. So whatever screen you're on, whether it's the home screen, whether it's the editor, whether it's the content scheduler, tap that plus button, have a bit of a play around, see what's behind there. And like I was saying, it is always the most relevant thing to the screen that you're on. Think mobile. So looking at some of the stats that we were talking about before, people are often interacting with your content on their phone. So whether that's your website, whether that's an email that you're sending out, or obviously social media, have a think about what that's going to look like for someone who's interacting with your brand for the first time on their mobile device. Next one is standing out from the crowd. So we've made our designs move today in a few different ways. So we can add video to, stock video or something from your device. You can add stickers, you can add GIFs, you can animate, you can also add some music. So that's going to really help you stand out from the crowd. And I think most importantly, just have some fun. There are so many more things which we didn't go through today, but you will discover them if you just sort of have a bit of a play in the app. These are some video tutorials which we created. So this is Ronnie, who is the head of our communities. And so we got some insights from our community around what they really wanted to learn on about mobile. So we've created these 4 masterclasses, and within each of these is around 4 or 5 tutorials. So we've got the first one, getting started with Canva Mobile. A lot of what I've covered today is in there, but there is some more in-depth knowledge in there as well. A lot of our community is actually running their business from their Canva mobile device, from their mobile device. And so we really wanted to help users, understand how they can grow their business using Canva on their phone, making any design moves. So Ronnie really goes into detail here around the different ways that you can make your design move and why video is so important. And then with our Canva Pro subscription product, the idea there is really to increase your productivity, particularly also because you are on a mobile device. We just want to make things a lot easier. So we've got a few tips in there. We did also produce these in Spanish. So this is Diana, one of our Canva certified creatives. So when we send out the workbook, there will be links to this on YouTube, but they're both available on YouTube. Cool. So a challenge for everybody now is to put what you've learned into practice starting right now. Like, I think that's the way that you're going to get great at designing on your mobile phone. We would love if you create your next post and you get it out into the world by tomorrow. So we've got a bit of a time crunch there. If you want feedback, join the Canva Design Circle on Facebook. So we've got the link down there. And I think, like I was saying before, like I'm astounded by what people can create on their mobile device. And the community is just really great. And people throw in a design, ask for feedback, and people come back with like some tips and tricks, which I had no idea about. And yeah, they're really constructive. So yes, this is a little bit of encouragement for you. Oh, that's not playing, but yes, you do. You got this. There is also going to be a mobile workshop every single month where we dig a little bit deeper into various things. So we're video, obviously massive on mobile. So we're going to do a dedicated workshop for that where we'll have people who are from the video team chatting you through how to use that product on mobile, presentations as well. So we've got, a huge library of presentation templates and just ways that you can collaborate and use presentations on your mobile and tablet. And then we've got Canva Pro, which is our subscription product. So that's really around increasing your productivity as well. But we would love to hear feedback around today's session, but as well of like what you would love to be learning about when it comes to designing on your mobile phone or anything related to mobile. And we can, have a chat about that. That's it for me. Thank you. Thanks so much for joining, everybody. And is there any more questions that we wanted to go through?
Yeah, there's one more question. We've got a couple of minutes if anyone wants to sneak in some last minute questions there. Are we able to download one page instead of all of the pages on our mobile device? For example, if you've got 8 pages, but you only want to download the first one, is that possible?
I believe, okay, so let me show you here. You can see. So we are going to, oh, sorry, I didn't fill it. We're going to go up here. This is where we've got our different options. So we're going to save as. And for this one, I'm doing this is an MP4, so I've got some moving things in there, and that's what's suggested. And if I come down here, I can choose, instead of all pages, I just want page 1. Oops, or I just want page 2. So yes, that's how you would do that. And then you would hit done, and then we're going to hit download.
Fantastic.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
There we go. Oops.
Corey snuck in a last question there. He said, are you able to share what's in the works for new features? I know that we aren't able to talk about that sometimes, but is there anything that that's on the cards that you're able to share, or just stay tuned?
Yeah, I think stay tuned. I think the exciting thing is that the whole company is basically working on features which will be shipping to mobile like every single week, essentially. So within the within the Canva design community as well, we announce things there. But yeah, definitely a lot of exciting things to come.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Renee.